Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Hi, I'm Valerie Kelso.
And I'm Suzette Teague.
And welcome to the Don't Believe the Hype Show. So today we are going to be talking to Suzette, who is my co-host. And we are getting to know Suzette. Because many of you have asked me how come me and Suzette got together and why we are hosting the show together. So today we're going to explain a little bit about our journey and why Suzette is hosting the show with me. So it's about 6 years, I think it is, that I've known Suzette. We met at a networking group, and when I was going through the darkest time of being here in this country, it was like Suzette came at the right time, and since then we have become good friends. So today, yes or no, I didn't want to say that to you, but I just wanted to let the audience know why Suzette is hosting the show with me. Because I think sometimes God will put people together, the most unlikeliest of people. As you can see, I'm black, she's white. I'm only joking, people. But I just wanted to break the ice because I want this to be a fun show, just so that you can see the side to why we are so interlinked, because she likes to laugh and I like to laugh. I like to tell jokes, so she just likes to laugh so much, as you can see already. So today I would like to ask Suzette, what brought you to Texas? Because I see you've got an accent.
Yes, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and my dad was living here and my uncle, and I had started going to community college, and my uncle said, come out to Texas, and he was paying for me to go to school, and I guess he wanted to protect his investment. So I got packed up, and I didn't really have anything holding me there in Georgia, and here I moved out to Texas, and I actually took a job right away with my uncle, working for a food company, doing food distribution, and I answered the phones and I took orders. That was my first job in Texas.
Okay. So what do you do for a living now? Are you still working with your uncle, or what are you actually doing now?
No, that all went by the wayside. I actually am a real estate broker. I own a company called Abundance Realty Group, and I also have a property management company, CETA Property Management. So I have both of those businesses are intertwined. I get to help people buy houses, sell houses. I get to help investors. I get to manage property. I get to help with leases, and so it's just a blast. I do a lot of things with real estate. I've even bought a house and fixed it up and resold it, and that was a lot of fun. So that's
nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you're passionate about?
Oh, wow. One of the biggest things I'm passionate about is personal growth and personal development. I have spent a lot of time over the years. I started really looking at where I was at in my life and where I wanted to be, and I felt like I kind of needed a coach or a mentor to get ahead, to set high, lofty goals. And so I started investing in myself, and I started taking personal growth seminars, and now I get to champion those classes, which means I get to actually host those classes. In addition to that, the biggest thing I'm passionate about is just my faith walk, knowing the Lord Jesus Christ as my Savior, being able to be connected, have encounters with God every day. That is probably the most important thing to me, is my faith. And God gave me a daughter, so when I'm not doing of course my daughter is my pride and joy. She's my only child, and I just feel blessed to have her, to know her. She's 19 years old. She goes to college at the University of Pittsburgh. And so I get to see her be 20 hours away from me, but she's growing into a fine young woman, and I'm really excited about watching her adult life and her become that adult that she was created to be.
So, let me ask you another question. What is what would you like to know, let the audience know about you and why you are part of the Don't Believe the Hype show?
Okay. I think for me, when Valerie first started talking to me about Don't Believe the Hype, we met for lunch, and she mentioned something about Don't Believe the Hype and about doing the show, and I was telling her I had this idea at some point to do a show. I felt like God wanted me to do something with the show, but I didn't know it was her show. And then I just prayed about it, and we talked about it, I prayed about it, and then I just said, okay, I'll meet you here on Friday. And so we showed up over here, and we just started filming a show, and the rest is kind of history. I believe that God has blessed this broadcast. He is letting it get out there where people can see it. I believe that we're real and authentic and genuine, and people want to hear real, authentic, genuine stuff these days. So we're going to make it our mission to make sure we bring you good content, bring you people that tell you the truth and that are real and authentic and genuine. And it's going to be interesting stuff, and that's what I think that was exciting about that, because I knew that you were on board with that you weren't just going to be putting a bunch of hype up.
No.
It's because it's called Don't Believe the Hype Show.
I want people to understand about the reality of what's
Right.
really going on. So tell us some personal things why, because some of the topics that we're going to be addressing, it's personal to myself, it's also personal to you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell them something about what makes Suzette ticks every single day. What's going on inside of you?
I think for me, I have to really have a heart check every morning, and I pray every day when I get my day started. I want to spend time. I listen to a little devotional every morning. I read the Word. I want to get my day started and give God the first fruits of my day. I think that's important for me to launch into that. I also do like to listen to affirmations to help me stay in the right mindset. I believe launching into your day positive, full of energy, excitement, and gratitude is the thing that really makes a difference for me. That's part of my daily routine and my habits.
Okay, so I know you've got a little pet and you've got your real estate business.
Yes.
What's your little dog's name?
I have an Australian Shepherd, and his name is Caspian. And he was named, if you've ever seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Caspian's in that movie, and we just liked the name, and so that's his. He's about 45, 50 pounds, but he is an incredible animal, and he gives us a lot of love. Very loving in the morning, too.
So what's one of your deepest secrets, not secrets, what is one of the deepest things that is inside of you that's, because it's about the Don't Believe the Hype show.
Right.
So, see, like I know, we're going to have people come on about domestic violence,
Right.
we're going to have people come on about mental health, we're going to have people coming on about all kinds of things. What can you bring to the table that can help somebody else that's going out there in the world who's struggling right now? What word of advice can you bring them? What can you say to them to help encourage them? Because at the end of the day, we've all got to have something that's driving us. So what is your driving force?
I think for me, one of the ways that I don't like to see injustice done. I like things to be right, and I like people to be right. So I've had my experience with domestic abuse. I was in a relationship one time, and I got beat up. I felt extremely unworthy. I felt extremely like I didn't have any value. And I actually thought about what it would be like not to be here anymore, because I felt like if I could be abused by somebody, by a man who beat me up, that I wasn't worth very much. And I've struggled a lot throughout my life. My dad left when I was very young. He left when I was about 5, and then my mother remarried. And when I was, probably just before I was 6 years old. And that particular gentleman, and he's gone now, but he actually was very physically and mentally and emotionally abusive as well. Like, he really believed you spank children, but you not only spank them, you like really, pull down your pants or get a spanking type spanking. And so it's very harsh and degrading, and it had an impact on me. I have learned, though, one of the biggest things about me is that I learned how to forgive, and I learned how to let go, and I learned how to bless my dad, both my dads, the one that deserted me and then the one that ultimately hit me. I learned to forgive them both, and because of that, I got to deliver their eulogies at both of their funerals.
Wow, that's awesome.
But it was because I got to a place in my life where I didn't want to carry around unforgiveness and bitterness and resentment. I carried it around for a lot of years, believe me. I thought I had a big old backpack full of it. But then I just realized that unforgiveness hurts the person that can't forgive more than the person that you take it out against. And so today I'm free from that. And I think the way I can speak into audiences is we will have people on the show that have struggled with unforgiveness. We're going to have people on the show that are going to struggle with domestic abuse. We're going to have people on the show that have been through tragedies and they've lost a parent or they've been deserted by a parent. And I believe I can speak into people's lives about those kind of things. And injustices. I don't like to see injustices. We've seen them in our society and they're wrong. And I don't think any injustice is right. Sex trafficking is wrong, and we're going to have people on the show that are going to talk about it. Either they've come out of it, or they're doing something about it. And I happen to be one of those people like to be on the side of the people that are doing something about it. So that's why I'm here with you, because I know you're the type of person that does something about stuff. You don't just talk smack.
Thank you. And now you made me forget my train of thought because I was going to ask you a question. You talked about forgiveness.
Yes.
Was it easy to forgive?
No. It was probably one of the hardest things I ever did because I felt I had a right to walk around with unforgiveness. My dad left when I was 5 years old, and I can remember looking for him, waiting by the window, thinking he was going to come and rescue me. I would open the door when somebody would knock on the door and think it was my dad, and I would open the door and literally say, "Are you my daddy?" So for years, I looked for my dad, and a lot of my bitterness and unforgiveness was because I waited on him, because I was looking for him, and he never showed up, and he didn't show back up in my life until I was 18. So, and then he wanted me to come get to know him. So I moved to St. Louis, Missouri to get to know him, and he deserts me while I'm there. So not only the first time as a 5-year-old, I get to experience being left alone, being deserted. There was a time that he left me, I didn't have a car, and he was supposed to pick me up after work. And I had gone to my job, and it got to be, I got off at 6, and 7 o'clock came, nobody was there. 8 o'clock, nobody was there. 9 o'clock, nobody was there. And it was just me and the security guard in the building. I couldn't get a hold of him on the phone. He wouldn't answer the phone. So I had to call a lady that worked for him. She lived 45 minutes away. She drove all the way there to pick me up, and then she had to drive me 30 minutes home. Then she still had to go back home. And believe me, when he came home the next morning, I was very, very distraught and upset. And I moved out that day and said, "You're never going to desert me again." So I've had my own share of pain, and that's why it was hard to forgive, because you keep reminding yourself about all the things they did. You want to relive those so that you can be justified in carrying around your pain and your hatred and your bitterness and your resentment. But there came a time when the Lord wanted to heal my heart, and he couldn't heal it if I wasn't going to let go, and I had to give it to him, and that was the hard part, because I still wanted to hang on to it even after I got saved.
Wow. So I know you do you like to give to foundations, and I know you support Purple Light Trust Foundation. Why? Because I know you're such a caring and loving person. So there's other charities out there, but yet you still come in and help out Purple Light Church Foundation. And name some of the other charities that you...
Well, I mean, the reason I help out Purple Light Touch is I love your mission. I love your vision. I love what you're doing. I love how you're changing lives. There are charitable contributions I like to make. Youth leadership camp. I believe that kids need to learn at a very young age how to lead and how to make a difference and realize their age isn't anything that holds them back. So I help give to that organization. I give to senior citizens. I have Bobby Arthur works at the Haltom City Senior Center, and I've given my time there. And not every place I just give money to. Sometimes it's just volunteering, giving my time. There's an organization within that organization, it's Friends Helping Friends, and we actually help seniors get rides so they can come to the senior center in fellowship and have a hot meal. And so I got a chance I'm on that board, and I help with planning and zoning with Haltom City. And so I believe in volunteering and serving your community, serving your family, serving the people you love, serving your church. At church right now, I'm getting to work with our connection team. And so when people want to join the church, I get to help work them through that process and kind of help them find their gifts, their talents, the ways they relate to God. And it's very fulfilling. I've even signed up to work with the teens and the prayer ministry.
Wow.
So I think there's a lot you can, I don't think you can outgive God. I think that whatever you put your time into, your money into, it comes back to you tenfold. And I'm very blessed to be able to be healthy enough, and I'm grateful for everything. So I'm able to give back to others.
See, that's why I just wanted people to know that you've got a servant heart, and that you want to be able, it's not just about us connecting on a Don't Believe the Hype show. We've got a lot of different connections together, you know what I mean? We like to help people, we like to do charity work, we like to laugh, we like to joke. You like getting your massages from me when I'm not hurting you. But it's just a lot of things that we've got connected. Why this show right now is the way it is, because I really believe that God put us together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could have chosen loads of people, but when you came in that day and I said, Suzette, I need your help, it was like I knew you was the right person that God was choosing to help me to run this show. And I wouldn't want to run it with anybody else except for you. I'm going to be honest with you right now. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. And I'm not just saying it because you listeners are going to be out there listening. You've got to have a connection with anyone that you're sitting beside or standing beside or walking beside, whether it's us hosting this show, whether it's with a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. There's got to be some form of connection, because if there's no connection, it's like chalk and cheese. There's no connection with chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? There isn't no connection. But, so you've got to have a connection, you know what I mean? So I'm probably the cheese and Suzette's probably the potato. So we're making a cheese and potato pie here together. And I know going forward this show is going to be awesome. We've got some awesome guests that are going to be coming onto our show. But we just wanted to do a show about getting to know the host. This saw my show last week. This was Suzette's time to shine. As you can see, she is shining a little bit, but it's okay. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, watch our show. You're going to see some amazing things come out of here, because I already know God has put his seal, his stamp of approval on this show, and I really do appreciate you being part of our Don't Believe the Hype show. And also our camera lady who is shy, I'm not even going to call her name, because none of these broadcasts, I'll be honest with you, could not go out without the three of us. So we've got the Trinity in this room right now, and I really and truly, I feel so blessed, I really do. So I'm going to ask you a question. What does Don't Believe the Hype mean to you?
That's a great question. I think for me, Don't Believe the Hype means don't buy into things that you feel in your spirit aren't right. You don't have to follow the crowd. You can carve your own path. If you're feeling led to do something great, go do it. make a difference. Go out into the world and do what you're called to do. I think a lot of us are living in a lot of fear these days. I mean, Valerie and I have talked about COVID and how it affected people, but it affected people's mindset, and people are living in fear. It's why things stayed closed down for so long, is because people were afraid to say something and to stand up. And I'm just telling you, do not have to live in fear. False events appearing real. That's what fear is. And you can step out in faith and you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, we're doing this show together. I'm honored. I'm honored to be sitting here next to this incredible lady. She is a huge light in the world, and I just love being in her presence and being in her space. She excites me. So we're here and we're going to give you good content, and we're going to bring great guests to you. And if you're interested in being on the show, you can reach out to us and tell us what you want to talk about. And we'll get together with you, and we'll give you a call back, and we'll see about bringing you on the show. We're that excited. So don't believe the hype means don't buy into stuff that you know is not real, not true. You can be authentic and genuine and real. And if you come onto our show, that's what we're going to want you to do. Be authentic, real, and genuine. And that's us. That's what we're going to do.
That's right.
In return.
Yeah, and we don't care if you make a mistake, because it's not about being perfect. We're not Fox News, we're not CNN, we're just two humble ladies trying to do what God has called us to do. So don't be frightened and think, oh well, what am I going to talk about? Trust me, we're going to have something for you to talk about, and if you don't talk, we're going to talk, okay? So I just want you to know, this is just, whether you're talking about domestic violence, whether you're talking about cancer, whether we're talking about sex trafficking, bullying, anorexia, abuse in any shape or in any form, or just any life issues, health issues, things that are going on in the world, we're willing to have you come onto our show. You know what I mean? Don't come on and think you've got to put on all this airy and graceful and be presentable. No, it's not about that. It's about you keeping it real. That's what Don't Believe the Hype means, keeping it real. Because we've all got mistakes, we all make faults in our lives. Nobody in this world is perfect. Because I know I'm not perfect. Are you perfect?
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody's not perfect. No. So it's just about being humble when you come on to our Don't Believe the Hype show. And we just want to love upon you. We just want you to share your story.
Yes.
And just let people know what's burning inside of you, what's hurting you, what is it that you can help somebody else achieve in their life, because you never know who you're going to touch.
That's right.
You just don't know, you know what I mean? Because you can go into a supermarket and you can find that you just help a little lady or somebody with groceries, just even helping them, taking it to the car. That's shining a light in the world, because that person will never ever forget you. You know what I mean? So that's what Don't Believe the Hype is all about, keeping it real.
Mm-hmm. And we're so happy you joined us today. Thank you for allowing us to come into your life, into your living room, wherever you may be sitting right now. We're so grateful to you. We love you, and we can't wait to see you next time on Don't Believe the Hype.
And thank you, Miss Suzette Teague, our co-host, for sharing your story with us today.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye.